Danny Lee, OGT here with you. Happy 420. So, I got a little school in here on 420. What it means, where it came from. How it got to be a sign or a slogan for marijuana. Um, First of all, let's go back in time a little before that. Be honest about something. There's still a stigma attached to marijuana. I just seen some kind of a televangelist talking about it causes anger problems. Well, emotions cause anger problems. Caffeine causes anger problems. Goody powders cause anger problems. Alcohol, for sure, causes anger problems. And I've been that cigarette, nicotine. Take somebody's cigarettes from them and hide them. And tell me what emotion comes. Hide somebody's coffee pot. Take the pain pills from them. And hide their weed. See which one gets the maddest. I am terminal. I have end-stage COPD. I just turned my oxygen off to make this video. Took 3 breathing treatments. So I am prescribed medical marijuana, edibly. And I tell you, I've had people come up when I was doing it illegally that I really wanted to knock the hell out over something that was really serious that made me terribly angry. But when you're high, man, you can't. You just can't. It's hard to get mad when you're high. Now, I know what the studies are about. Prolonged use, agitation comes from, well, so does a damn hangover. Again, hide the coffee pot and cigarettes. Tell somebody that's super addicted to go out eating every day that they got to eat a bologna sandwich. For the rest of you in the world, that's poor man's steak in America. On top of the fact that marijuana wasn't the first illegal substance of the two, alcohol, marijuana. Alcohol was illegal first, called prohibition. Marijuana was legal. So were psychedelics, by the way. Doctors prescribed psychedelics in the 50s, but the government don't want to tell you that because people might actually wake up from the bullshit they've been fed their whole life. Now, this is my 420 rant, and the context is well within the boundaries of what the subject matter is about. Marijuana is the #1 cash crop in the world. And you don't consume it. It's not food. Well, it kind of is, okay? I make butter out of it. So, I'll retract that statement. My point is, soybeans, I just looked it up. Green beans, corn, they've all killed people. Allergic reactions, whatever. Marijuana has never took one life, ever. There's no such thing as overdosing on marijuana. I have never found a case where anyone was allergic and died from marijuana. There are allergic cases to marijuana, but it didn't kill them like the damn green beans did. Monster drinks kill people every year. Every year. Every day, probably. Marijuana, no matter what form you do it in, no matter what country you get it from, no matter how much you do, it ain't never killed nobody. But it's a Schedule I narcotic, federally illegal. That means it's above opiates. Yes, the fucking pain pills that's killing people every single day. Fentanyl is not a Schedule I narcotic. Where's the gavel? I rest my case. Or here, I'll drop the microphone. I don't get angry often. I guess it's the pot. See what I did there? Cancer patients, PTSD, or post-traumatic stress, PTSD. It helps. You can make rope out of it. CBD, man, CBD's done wonders. Well, there is no CBD without marijuana. Wake up, people. Smell the bud. Roses have killed people. Roses, not the store. The flower that people buy on Valentine's Day. Now it's because somebody gave them to somebody's wife and they shot them. But they've killed people, okay? Yeah, I know. People probably died of marijuana that way, too. If you would legalize marijuana, the cartels wouldn't have a reason to kill people to get it in the States anymore. And the almost 50% of people incarcerated for marijuana charges would be released, and America's drug problem wouldn't look all that bad. But then it would be focused on the damn real drug dealers, the pharmacies and big pharma. Now that's the truth. Now, let's get in a happier mood. Give me a damn cookie. I deserve it. I hope the chocolate don't kill me. Well, the pot won't. Hold on, I want my milk. I'm back. Damn, hold on, I'm getting off. I'm back. Okay, let's clear up one more thing. Marijuana is a gateway drug, though, Jamie. Marijuana is what opens the door for all these people to go to the opiates. All those drugs you just said were bad. Well, I can't argue that. But I can point out the fact that it's statistically proven that people try nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol before marijuana. So if you're going to do morals and law and put them as the same thing, kind of like saying all colors are the same when they're obviously not. I mean, we know that from the whole damn race war that's going on, right? Color means a lot. Nicotine was the hardest drug I've ever had to put down. The pot was easy. The pain pills made me sick, but the nicotine was even worse. The meth, I was tired of it anyway. My point is, just because those guys up on Capitol Hill say marijuana's illegal and nicotine ain't, well, obviously the taxable drugs aren't considered drugs for some reason. I don't know. They're addictive. They're deadly. Caffeine jacks you up. Nicotine, if you go to jail and get out and you ain't had a cigarette in a while, it'll make you high as hell the first time you hit it. So, if you got two guys at a baseball game, they bump into each other, they're both drunk. Then you got two guys over here that bump into each other, and they're both high. Which set's most likely to get in a fight? I don't know. I'll let you answer that in your own head. So, now that I'm done with my rant, my 420 rant, at 7:20 a.m., I want to wish my friend and channel musician, backup musician, backing track musician, Jimmy T. Local people right here knows his last name. I can put it out there. Best friend. We were actually listening to Pearl Jam and Hank Jr. before we became diehard Me Tool, him Nirvana. Which, by the way, those guys didn't like each other back in the day. So it was kind of ironic that when we lost touch a little bit because of drugs. By the way, I've done nicotine, alcohol, and caffeine before I ever tried any pot. And let's say a close family member was a damn pot dealer. So, yeah, gateway drug. The gateway they're talking about is the one in your mind that psychedelics can open that will wake you up, where you won't be a walking zombie, where you won't think the next iPhone is more important than planting a damn tree. Because the next iPhone ain't going to help your damn great grandkids have a better world. Planting a tree will. So, with that being said, all right, 420. According to Chris Conrad, curator of the Oaksterdam Cannabis Museum in Oakland, California, 420 started as a secret code among high schoolers in the early 1970s. A group of friends at San Rafael High School in Marion County, California, would call themselves the Waldos. Like, where's Waldo? He's getting high. That's my interpretation. That's not in here. Would often meet at 4:20 p.m. to get high. As Hager explained, a group of California teenagers ritualistically smoked marijuana every day at 4:20. The ritual spread, and soon 420 became code for smoking marijuana. Eventually, 420 was converted into a 420 for calendar purposes, and the day of celebration was born. So, okay. I know what you're thinking. Well, Danny, even if I buy everything you're selling right there, which I'm not selling pot, you ain't got to sell it. It grows naturally. God put it here. So argue with God. It don't have man's hands on it. So, all psychedelics were put here by God, by the way. The only drugs. Yeah. No other drug. Cocoa leaves have to be manipulated. Barley, nicotine, it all has to be manipulated in a factory. You can grow pot in your backyard, pull a damn leaf off, and get high. I don't recommend that. You might have some visitors in a helicopter jump out because it's Schedule 1 narcotic. Without those drugs, I can't say they've done one good thing for us as a species. And if you don't think drugs have done good things for us, then do me a favor. Go home, take all your albums, all your tapes, all your CDs, and burn them. Get rid of all your digital platforms, because all that music that's enhanced your lives throughout all these years, those musicians were real fucking high on drugs. So, if nothing else, they brought us great music. And where would we be without Cheech and Chong? I mean, who would have smoked weed but Willie? The government gave in to the criminals. Wave the white flag. Okay, man. We will legalize alcohol. I know the story well. I live in North Carolina, where NASCAR was born from Junior Johnson and them running moonshine from the mountains. in the Appalachian mountain chain, right down the road. But, you know, it has no health. Okay, I think for your colon, a beer every once in a while will clean out your colon. Well, so will colon cleaner. I just looked it up, and there is a such thing. So, 420, after this, I think 1977, it was in High Times magazine. And High Times magazine said National Bong Smoking Time of America is 4:20 a.m. and p.m. Because if it's 5 o'clock somewhere all the time, then it's got to be 4:20 somewhere. So, am I promoting marijuana? No. Am I demonizing marijuana? No. Marijuana and psychedelic mushrooms and DMT are the only drugs, if you want to call them drugs. I mean, fun fact, psychedelics cannot be considered addictive because something addictive you do every day, right? Well, guess what? If you eat acid or eat mushrooms tonight, it's about a week before you can feel them again. You might take 4 times the amount and feel a tiny bit of the sensation you felt the one time. There are no other drugs like that. So, how could something be addictive if you can't take it but once a week at the very most? And if you keep doing that, then you're going to start waiting a month. So, it's the opposite of drugs. Drugs get in your system and you get immune to them. Well, psychedelics get in your system and your system says, hey, I'm good. I'm not going to allow this to work again. Most people take psychedelics. Some for fun, yes. But these days, most people take it for spiritual guidance. Because why do you need an interpreter if you can just talk to God yourself? You also don't need the psychedelics. But when you've been desensitized and brainwashed your whole life to think you're going to burn in a pit of fire if you don't go through an interpreter, then maybe drugs is what it takes to snap you out of that damn illusion. Because we are eternal. All this pain is just an illusion. And I think for myself when I question authority and the institutions that were put in place long before we were ever here. The religious, the educational, and the political authorities. Definitely the pharmaceutical part of the medical. But I know a lot of medical workers, and I know that they're genuine in what they do. But so are the soldiers that go and fight for the country. But the war pigs that send them over there to sit on their couch and call in the orders for these men to kill each other that don't even know each other. Take each other from each other's family. The old saying of the 2 guys on each side of the hill shooting at each other in war. And all of a sudden I had this profound thought, damn, that guy's trying to take me from my family. And then the thought reverses on both of them in 2 different languages in both their heads at the same time. Says, wow, what if he's thinking the same thing? After all, I don't know him, he don't know me. Why the hell are we trying to kill each other? For someone I've never even met that's at home on the couch. Daniel OGT here, giving you the real cold hard facts of how you have been blindfolded. So take the blindfold off, and at 4:20, eat a damn cookie or smoke a bowl and just chill out, man. It's just a ride. That's Bill Hicks. Much love. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in.